I've always liked to travel, and my family has traveled quite extensively. But I felt because I'm younger, it was sort of causing me some anxiety to travel and not, sort of create my future. So I did some investigation, and I found that I could also work in mental health abroad. So I applied for it, and I got the chance to work in research and in practicals. So it was a very good experience.
Now let's talk a bit about Project Me. Why did you start Project Me? What is Project Me?
So Project Me, we try to advocate psychosocial education amongst communities and adolescents. So that's basically just educating people about what mental health is, how we can break stigma, teaching them general coping mechanisms. And I founded it because I went abroad, actually. I thought the work that I'm doing there, I should bring home, because there's so much that can be done, and there are a lot of organizations that exist. But in order for us to combat stigma and create the support system, the more organizations, the better it is for our country.
So you offer programs to corporates and schools.
Yes.
Tell us a bit about these programs.
So basically, we do talks with them. When we work with schools, we actually create a base there where we work with the kids and the issues that they face. So if they have, the school that we're working in at the moment, we have a lot of drug issues and sexual behavior. So we have a social worker based there who offers a lot of emotional support for the kids. And the anti-drug forum is also based there. So we share that counseling space. With regards to corporate companies, I guess stress and anxiety is growing every day. It doesn't have an age or a gender. So with corporates, we offer talks to them, team building. Again, whatever they need, we try to tailor to meet their expectations.
Right. Now, what would you say are the main issues, though? Like you mentioned, corporates in terms of obviously stress and stuff. It's gaining momentum. These are things that you can't avoid. It's part of life, but you got to figure out a way to manage it. And a lot of people don't talk about it, and that's when it bottles up and builds up, right? But what are some of those main issues that you picked up at those corporates? And let's zone in on the youngsters as well at schools, because a lot of parents, a lot of elders don't figure that, listen, stress, depression, these kind of mental health issues are quite common with teenagers too. If you're a teen, doesn't mean to say you're just going to grow out of it and it happens. It's part of life. They need some attention.
Yes, they do. So, okay, I'll answer the first part with corporates first.
Right.
So, in the corporate field, what we're finding is that a lot of adults are not caring for themselves anymore. So basically, social media and cell phones are sort of taking over our life, and we aren't listening to our minds when our mind says stop, or when our mind says go to sleep. We're not going to sleep. We're still on social media, or we're still pushing ourselves more and more. So in the corporate setting, it's a lot of burnout. And I think that, if we just start listening to our minds more, we could reduce the risk of burnout. And especially in corporate offices and in that setting, if one person is feeling stressed or anxious, it's going to have a knock-on effect on everyone else in that office. So the biggest thing with corporates is, when I think corporates, I think also adults. So the biggest thing that we have with them is the lack of self-care. And when we talk about the kids in schools, it stems from parenting, it stems from socialization, and it stems from just the basic culture that these kids grow up in. In different schools, we have different issues. So, like I said, the school we're working in at the moment, we have drugs and sexual behavior. And in another school, we have cyberbullying and body image. So it varies across, and us as the older generation, we need to start listening and providing the support and providing the information and help that these kids need, because they are the future of our country.